Hey YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Jazzy Time with your host, Bailey. How's it going, everybody? We are on day number 23. Holy crap, 23. Day number 23 of the 30 days of NAIL-O-WEEN. This one is not a typical Halloween thing, but I'm experimenting again. I have this wreath that I hang on my gate, and it's super cute, and it's like silver, and there's a skull as the centerpiece, and it's like his face is silver and he's wearing a black top hat, and he has a bow tie that's like made of these silver branches, and it has like black leaves on it. Like, it's such a really, like, I just thought it was very different. So I'm going to try and make that little skull dude with the bow tie on a nail. So yeah, so if you guys want to see how I do that, keep watching. Alrighty, so I am fast forwarding through this because it did take me a little longer than I had anticipated. So I'm starting with my background. I'm doing a gray background. This is Venalisa Pure Color Gel, of course, 1612. And I'm taking a little bit of this scattered holo powder, and I'm just very sparsely tapping it into the tacky layer. And then I'm going to go over top of that with matte top coat and cure that and set it aside. So now that that's all finished, so I'm going to take gelish polygel, and I'm putting it right onto the nail, and I'm using 91% alcohol for my slip solution as usual. And I'm using a teeny tiny little brush. It's just a little brush that I have from an art set. And I'm tapping it out using the alcohol to try and make as best of a skull shape as I can. And I'm making the top of the head, or top of the skull, a little more flat for the brim of the top hat. And here I'm like struggling with trying to make that little peak on the nose. Something that I dislike about gelish polygel, when you play with it, it kind of starts to blob up again. Like, it doesn't hold its form. So it, in my opinion, it's not like the greatest polygel for this type of thing, but I'm using it anyway because I'm trying to get rid of it. So when you're happy with your little skull, make sure you cure that. And then while I'm curing that on a nail form backing, I'm taking a little more of the polygel, and I'm using the skull there as a reference, and I'm going to tap and sort of brush out this polygel as flat as I can, because I'm trying to make the brim of the top hat, so I want to make sure that it's going to be wide enough to go from one side of the head to the other, but still look good. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to put that into cure. And while I'm waiting for that to cure, I'm going to take some more polygel, and I'm going to be doing the stack of the hat. And sorry, I'm going to try and make it wider on the top and a little more narrow at the bottom. So I'm just manipulating the gel until I get it into place, trying not to blend it too much into the top of the head or the skull. And now that that's kind of where I want it, I'm going to take the little brim that I made, and I'm just sizing it up and trimming it as I see fit, because I want it to look not too cartoony, but I do want it to look, you know, proportionate, if that makes sense. So I'm just cutting it out, making sure it fits. And then I file the brim a little bit. And then when I'm happy, I push that into the polygel, and then take my brush and sort of fix up the hat a little bit, since it flowed and started to blob up a bit more. And turn it into a hat, and then I cure that. And while that's curing on the nail form backing again, I'm going to take some builder gel. And at first I try on the opposite side, so the non shiny side. So there's a shiny side and a non-shiny side. Pen doesn't always work on it, so I turned around and used a marker instead. So I made a little template, and I'm going to take just a detailer brush and follow my little template with the builder gel. And yeah, just trying to make it look like a bow tie and some branches at the same time. And there it is. And then I have that to cure, and I pull the skull out. So using the tacky layer of the polygel, I'm taking the scattered holo powder again, and I'm using my glitter brush, and I'm pushing it into the tacky layer of the skull. And then I just put that to the side for now, brush off any excess that I have. And then I also am going to push that same powder into the bow tie to give it that silvery look. And then I'm going to take builder gel again, and I have these little black diamond shapes I'm going to use to sort of represent the leaves on this. I'm not going to put too many on, just kind of here and there, trying to give it that, you know, twigs and leaves look. I'm just using my brush to pick them up and place them. These little things are always so difficult to come off of a sticky brush. You know what I'm saying? Struggle's real. So I make both sides sort of mirror each other. Just like this. And like this. But this one doesn't want to work. And like this. And like that. And like that. And then I put two in the center. Sort of like eyes. Just to complete the little bow tie. And then I cure that again. And then I take the skull, and I'm going to take a black gel paint and my detailer brush, and I'm going to paint the top hat and the details on the face of the skull, making sure I keep it as clean as I can, not overflowing onto my background. Just keep my paint really controlled. And then I go in on the face and do the details. Little notches in the teeth. Little jaw marks, some little brow bone marks, and then cure that. And then finally, I'm going to use some builder gel and attach my bow tie, cure that, and then I will cover everything in a no wipe top coat, except for the background. All right, so there it is, all top coated. I think it looks super cool. I like the contrast of matte in the background and everything else shiny. I don't know, I just like, I have this wreath, and I was like, I thought it was pretty cool. I wanted to give it a shot. So anywho's, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm going to get to another Halloween tutorial for you guys. I hope you all stay tuned and stay jazzy.